HotepCon has come and gone, but that doesn't mean that the stories don't live forever. We're about to get it with Coolee Bravo in the building. Let's go. Aquarian Anarchy is back. This is what happens when Marcus isn't here. I completely forgot to put a quote. So we don't have a quote. I guess our quote for this one is probably, I could just read one of Coolee's tweets from earlier today. That would be a good quote. But Coolee Bravo, my new best friend, who I just met this past weekend, and we shut it down out there in Vegas. How you been? You all recovered? You got your sleep back? I still don't have my voice back.
Hell no. Y'all fucking me up, bro.
I didn't do shit. I didn't do anything to you.
It was Vegas.
Oh shoot, man.
Vegas
no, but it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun for sure. So you know, I hit you up the other day about doing this, or no, it was yesterday. Yeah. And you were kind of tied up, but you're like, I thought somebody would have done a recap. I think Canon Hotep did a pretty good one, did probably the best one that I've seen like the other night. Yeah, so he told some of the stories and everything, but I figured there's no better storyteller from some of the stuff, like just some of the things that I've seen out there. You're in the Twitter sphere over the weekend, and then since you made yourself into a whole meme while we were out there. That reaction. Oh shoot. Yeah, he
made me a meme. I didn't even know I was doing that shit.
I know. Right. But all right, so
Twitter, what
tell me what was so it's the meme that's the thumbnail for tonight, where so we were playing this weird game. It was called like Hidden Hitler or something like that. Some weird, like I don't know, it was Secret Hitler. That's it. Yeah. It was some side questy out the box shit. Like it was crazy. But anyway, so we're playing that, and apparently HJ and Melinda Sisk won in their game or whatever, and Doe is just recording their celebration. Mm-hmm. But off to the side, unbeknownst to everybody, until Doe pans the camera over, is Coolee just sitting there trying to like take it all in.
You know
what was going through your mind? Yeah, that's what I want to know. What was going through your mind?
Because I had just walked back in, right? and I heard yelling and shit. So I just stood there. I didn't know I was standing that close to them. I thought I was kind of like behind them. So I'm just watching and shit. And then I heard him say liberals in the building. I was like, what the fuck? That's what made me turn my head like that. I was like, he trolling us, bro. But it registered so late, so that's why I turned my head like, what the hell did I just hear? All I heard was Hitler. Then
he's like celebrating liberals win and all that stuff.
Liberals, like, then I heard somebody behind me talk about fascists in Chicago. I was like, what the fuck is going on? It was like 30 conversations around me, and I'm just listening. And I'm like, shit, I had just walked back in. I don't know where I went. I just remember when I came to when I became conscious of where I was at. Mm-hmm. I was standing next to HJ, and I heard him say, liberals in the building. And I was like, what? What happened while I was gone? What the fuck y'all talking?
Right. No shit, man. It was yeah, and so Coolee turned himself into a whole Nick Young with the little, he's like, and then Jason Rose put the question marks all over the screen, everything.
Oh yeah, I saw it.
It's fucking dope. Shoot. But all right, so give me your first impression, because this is my third HotepCon. I've been to all three of them, and I see that we got the chat popping off already. Shout out to Jabari. See, you didn't get to meet Jabari. Jabari would have been a whole other experience too if he had been there. But Jabari had shit to take care of. But anyway, what was your impression meeting the whole of Hotep Nation that represented itself there in Vegas for the first time?
It was man. It was actually dope, because I didn't think I would have that many. I had like some dope conversations. I thought it was just gonna be, you know what I actually thought it was gonna be? I thought it was gonna be some weird conversations. But nobody was weird. So that's why I was surprised. I was like, nobody in here is weird. It's all different people though, because you got like scientists and doctors and shit. And I'm just sitting there. I'm a rapper, so I'm like, what the hell is going on? I'm just listening to everybody talk. But then I started listening, and then I noticed like a lot of y'all say the same shit I say. So I'm like, okay, kind of cool, because like
that's why we fuck with you too, though. Like that's kind of the thing, right? You know,
it's like that's why I realized I was like, oh, I'm supposed to be here. Because at first I felt out of place. Because I'm like, oh,
right.
Doctors and fucking. I'm like, I don't know what. The only person I didn't know what they was talking about was like, what's the doctor name?
Tanai.
I think it was him, but I'm trying to listen. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, because it's just nerd shit. So I'm just like trying to catch some of it. So
right.
Brooke or Rook is Brooke.
It's Rook. It's Rook. You called her Brooke like 10 times.
I was calling her Brooke the whole fucking weekend.
I know. We were clowning you too for it.
But nobody.
You might not. Why nobody? I finally told you. Well, so I didn't hear you say it. I didn't hear you say it until.
I kept calling her Brooke for
until
some reason.
after.
I don't know why, because like.
And she didn't correct you?
No, I don't think she did. Probably did, but I was drunk as fuck. So who knows? But yeah, I was listening to her. She the one I had the most questions for. Like I gave y'all awards in my brain. Like for example, my favorite people to hang with was Chad and Trish. Like just hanging out and shit. Because they funny as hell. And we had the most like conversation that was not about shit that's surrounding like all the Hotep conversation. It was just like side conversation. That was cool. So they was the two best to hang with. But Rook was like the one I had the most questions for. Like she was the most intriguing, because I was like, what the hell? Like every time she says something in her speech, I was like, what? Like I'm not saying she wrong, but I wanted her to like elaborate type shit. But I never even got a chance to talk to her because I was just drunk as fuck. I was walking through the halls and shit, just fuck.
Listen.
I was.
What's he not sipping on? I'm sorry. I don't want to violate you. I'm sorry, man. But it was. We had a lot. There was a lot of stuff. So one of the stories I wanted to talk about was when we got kicked out of the lobby of the hotel because we had.
Wait, we got kicked out.
Well, you weren't down there with us.
Did I? I don't know.
Saturday night. Yeah, Saturday night. Doug had gone and bought that big bottle of Jameson. And then they had all that other stuff laid out and everything, and the cops came.
Oh yeah,
they're like, y'all can't have this out in here. Y'all need to go. And that's when we went to your room.
Oh yeah, that's how everybody ended up in my room. I forgot because I was trying to wonder how everybody ended up in my room debating rap and shit.
That's what it was. Well, you must have. Maybe that all happened, and then you went somewhere and you came back. And when you came back, you're like, we can go in my room, and because everybody was like getting up and leaving. But I thought I could have sworn you heard that whole thing go down.
No, I didn't. I probably did, but like I drank too damn much. I had to tell somebody to not buy me a drink. I was like, stop. I was like, please stop. I was like, I'm good. Don't waste your money. I'm good.
So I don't know how to grade how drunk somebody is, but Coolee tried to get up and sing background vocals for me on stage when I was singing karaoke. And
no, his voice was going out on the karaoke.
I know, but you hear my voice right now. I can barely talk, and I'm sitting up there trying to sing. And what it was is like the first song that I sang it too loud. The music was so damn loud. I was like screaming it. Like normally, I like try to like lay low and like just kind of be kind of quiet. And what I should have done is like just had the mic a little closer and done that. But I almost said eat the mic, but I didn't want to be too pause worthy. But no, so Coolee's behind me and he's singing. So now this is after HJ has already sung. By the way, Hotep's been told you coming up in like an hour and 15 minutes. As soon as we're done, we're gonna hand y'all off directly to them. But HJ came up and he was singing along. I was singing Wait Until Tonight by it's still was it Bobby Womack, but it was the Jodeci version of it. So
my whole like if you could see from my perspective, it was like a sitcom. Every time I walked in a room, something was happening. So when I walked in there, I noticed somebody singing, and I'm like, who the fuck is that singing? Because it sounded like a black dude, but it was Chad. So when I got around the little corner, I did the same thing. I did my head like this. Is that Chad singing? I saw it was a black dude. I said, who the fuck is that singing? So when I saw him, and I was like, I'm going up there. And I sang background. Then he said pause. So I got off the stage.
Well, yeah, because all right. So where I was going when I was singing that Jodeci song first, HJ got up there and HJ starts singing "Wait Until Tonight, Chad," and I was like, "Yo, chill! What the hell? No."
See, I missed that shit. I think. I know.
So then when I saw you singing behind me, I was like, "No, get the hell off the stage." Then I realized afterwards. I was like, "Damn, I fucked up. I could have had a chance to have a moment. I could have done a duet with Coolee, and instead." I didn't get that collab. I didn't get that feature. I'm just like singing up there by myself, telling Coolee to get off the stage because it was too pause worthy. Yeah, because Jabari said charges on everybody.
I was in my room trying to recharge and shit, and I forgot who texted me to come down. So I come down, it's a fucking party. And I'm like, where the hell was I? Like, it was like everybody just randomly agreed, but it was already set up. So I didn't know. So when I came in there, I just saw everybody singing and drunk and shit. And I was like, well, it's my turn. But that's
so when we did it the first year, that room didn't even exist yet. They were still like working on it, building it. They were building that bar and all that stuff. So then the second year, that stuff was there, but we didn't get a chance to. All we did was the stuff that we did on Friday and Saturday, like the little talks and everything. Yeah. But then at night, that room was closed. This is the first time they actually had like fun shit going on in there, and so it was like, oh damn, we get to go like party in there. Let's go. I don't know if you saw, but like when we were at dinner, they had a damn magician in there doing card tricks and everything. Oh no, that's right, because you went in, and that's when that dude told that joke. That dude told that joke.
When I went in there, I heard a racist joke, and I said, "What the fuck?" But I was so drunk, I was like, "Just give me a drink." I was like, "What the hell is going on?"
I got up from the table, and Jonathan was sitting next to me. Shout out to Jonathan. Poor guy lives in Montreal. God help him. I mean. It's rough times up in Canada, but anyway, he was sitting next to me at dinner, right? And I got up to go get a drink, and because you had to go to the little bar in that other room next door where we were doing karaoke the night before, and I was like, "Hey, you want anything?" And he's like, "Yeah, that's just the same thing," because he had seen what I was drinking, and I think he ordered one the night before or whatever. Anyway, he's like, "Give me one of those." So I go in there, 2 old fashions. It was like $42.
Dog, oh my god! When I got home,
what the hell, bro?
When I got home and my car started updating on tips, it said, "Oh, your total 26 has been updated to $36." And then the next drink was like $40. And the next drink, I was like, "I'm never going back there." Like that's why I was like, "We should go to the liquor store."
Yeah, for real. Well, and I told Trish the night we got there, I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm not a degenerate, or I'm not going to get all hammered and everything. That's not what I'm here for. I'll just buy a drink or two here and there and whatever. And then I was like, damn, maybe I should have gone and got a bottle because the people who did were
like 2 drinks. You had $100 already. I'm like, oh,
I know, right? Right. Shout out to Taylor. I see Taylor in the chat here. Hotep Federalis is in the building as well. He said the feds are in the chat. So we got some folks popping in here, but all right. So the story that really kind of set things off for me, I got up and went to breakfast, and then I'm walking back from breakfast Sunday morning. It's like 10 a.m. and I see AG with like his shirt unbuttoned, and he's like walking around, and I was like, "Hey man, are you going to breakfast?" He's like, "We just got here." I was like, "What?" Because we left him off at the Mirage like at like 1 or 2 or something like that before we even went and hung out with you in the lobby and then up to your room or whatever. So tell me, I want the firsthand Coolee perspective of what you walked up on and how it was explained to you.
It was the same shit. Like it was like a sitcom. Every time I walk outside or inside, I see some shit. So I walk outside the lobby, and I just see a like little. I don't know if it was like a convertible Porsche or some shit. And then here come AG looking like John B in the 90s with his shirt off and shit, like R&B white boy style. Well, I was like, where are you coming from? R&B white boy style. I was like, where are you? I'm like,
yeah. Hey, turn your audio off, bro. got your secondary audio. I'm gonna mute your damn mic.
I'm thinking that like I'm thinking he going to breakfast too. So he said, I just came back from Arizona. I was like, what the fuck is in Arizona, dog? Like what? Like he just got back. I'm thinking he said he just got back from like the Mirage thing. He said no, he just got back in the damn state. So I'm like, what? What is happening? Like, so I said on Twitter that he was having an overnight orgy in Arizona.
But and then when you see the pictures, it's like I don't know, man. He didn't do much to remove doubt.
I want to know the damn story.
Bro, I was worried when I heard the orgy part. I was like, oh, remember that part. Like, wait a second, what happened? Who was your sources on that one?
Of course you don't remember.
I cannot endorse this degenerate behavior.
Coolee just wanted to spice it up, though. That didn't happen for everybody wondering.
I know.
But Chad wanted me to come on and give my side too. I'm like, bro, I don't have a side. Like I just
like as soon as I woke up, I was like, here you go.
I just wanted Coolee to be telling the story and for AG to just pop up on the screen and be like, yo, what the hell? What are you talking shit about me for?
I was still defend himself. So I'm like, what is happening, dog?
Bro, how you think I felt? I'm the one who woke up in Arizona in the whip with the top down, no shirt, cold as hell, the wind blowing on my.
How was it cold? How was it cold? It's like
bro, we're driving on the highway with the top down. Like I
don't care, man. Chilly, that would have felt like there's finally some air conditioning somewhere.
And it was a hurricane out there. Come on, it was a hurricane out there.
Oh yeah, it was
cold. Yeah. It was a little chilly. It wasn't Vegas heat like it usually is. That's the second straight year we brought the rain to Vegas.
It was Vegas. Yeah, that's true. We had like mudslides last year. Yeah.
So the acronym for this, it was really like it was hurricanes, orgies, and earthquakes. That's what happened.
You can't do that, man. You messing up the Hotep name. Come on now, you messing all up.
HotepCon.
I see Trisha. Trisha's here, and Jay's World says he's gonna be here there next year. Yeah, don't stop, man. But so we got the AG story. I'm curious. I don't know what other stuff maybe y'all might have experienced when I wasn't there, because I know like the other one that I wanted to tell was because I was gonna make it sound like way more. We got so I didn't tell you this, but Sean Coakley, the guy who was there, he does like some animation stuff and everything. He had like kind of long straight hair, white dude. Anyway, he does animation, and so he'll do some stuff with like there's another podcast or two that he'll take stories that they tell and like convert it into a cartoon, like you've seen some other things do. So I thought it would be funny. Like the story's going to start where first we get kicked out. The cops come and raid our party in the lobby, and then we're running off, and we're going to try to get into the dispensary at 2:00 in the morning. And
I want to hear that story. I didn't hear that story fully.
There's going to be this Mad Max dude sitting there, and he's going to be like, the dispensary is closed. And he's gonna be a lot scarier than the guy actually was. And then we go off from there.
So much. It was so much in one night. It's hilarious when you hear.
It was 8 people. We're rolling 8 deep with like 5 or 6 Men of Order shirts on. It's like it's
gangbanging.
It's Tari. It was Tari, Doug, me, Coolee, Dutch, Heather, Ricky, and No Way, all rolling over there to go get Black and Milds from Walgreens. But I made it sound like we were going to do a drug deal. Because that's what it was like it was so crazy like that we all went out there, and then it started raining while we were out there. So I started it off. I was like, it was a clear black night, a clear white moon. And then Haram comes in there and he goes, AG was in the streets and Chad was trying to croon. I was like, oh shit, I fell out, man.
Yo, everybody was off doing like the strangest shit. Not strange, but
tell me about it.
It was so weird how everybody was just off in their own, like just doing other shit. So I'm like, you hear the stories and it's like, why?
Yo, it's funny because my mans that pulled up on me that I ended up doing all that with, like I knew it was gonna end up something like that.
He was with a woman. He was with a woman.
Yeah, he was with his
so
woman.
Was
I was with my woman.
So was AG.
Yeah, come on.
Just let y'all know. I had to stop you. I had to save you.
We were with our ladies and we had a night. You know what I'm saying?
So you and the guy.
Yeah,
you were with the guy at the Grand Canyon.
The Hoover Dam, Arizona. I don't even know where else, man.
Oh man!
I found those pictures later on too. I didn't even know I had those.
That's what I was saying. It was really like The Hangover. Like AG just like
it felt like I was looking at the camera at the end of the movie. Like
pictures he didn't know existed.
I was just about to say it was a hangover night.
Yeah. So what happened with the guy? The dispensary was closed, obviously, but
right.
Well, somebody thought it was going to be open.
But Coolee still thought it might be open because he was trying to go get a vape.
He was like, "Bro, it's on the corner. It's going to be somebody out there."
It's only because of the proximity. It's like right there. So I'm like, okay, let's just go along. And then everybody went. So I'm like, okay, they were closed. We went to CVS. Was it CVS or Walgreens? I don't know.
It was Walgreens. Oh, yeah, same thing. Whatever. It's one of those.
So we went in there. I don't even smoke Black and Miles. I just got them. So I think I left those somewhere. I didn't even care. I was mad. I was like, okay, let's go back. We ended up debating rap until like 4 a.m.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was good. And then
the
best part about that was Dutch. We're just sitting around the floor having a top 5 dead or alive conversation about rap. And Dutch pulls out his laptop and he's got like every rapper ever in like 15 different categories rated.
Yo, he did. It was like some shit.
Yeah.
I was like, what kind of
shit? I was like, that's not my kind of dude. Like that's the kind of shit I do for baseball and basketball stuff. I have sports shit like that.
I've never seen it for like rappers though, because it's like no rapper stats.
I don't know how you do that. Like I can do like statistics stuff with sports, but how do you rate? Because one of them was like delivery. Like how do you do delivery on a spreadsheet? I don't know, but but shout out to
just opinion based, I guess. It comes down to his opinion.
Be a little gay to like delivery.
No, don't say that. No, shout out to Dutch.
I'm just playing. It was actually dope. It was dope. It was just nerdy.
yeah.
I was like,
that's
what
why I
the
said
hell?
it was cool. I like that. I like the way that. But
it led to like a top 5 list, and we debating rappers, and then we was like talking about why black people prefer Paul Wall over Eminem, even though Eminem is a better rapper.
Yo, we was talking about that the first night in the lobby too. I remember that shit. Coolee was having church, bro. None of we didn't choose it, but he was so drunk he just kept talking. That shit was mad funny, bro. You remember that night, Chad, in the lobby?
I remember me and
every time Chad tried to talk, Chad would start talking. He's like, "Yo, I gotta get this." We was like,
"Oh yeah,
we had like 7 different segments of Chad trying to tell the same story or make the same point."
What was that? I don't even remember.
Every time he would do it, Chad would be like, or Coolee was like, "Yo, Chad, I know what you're about to say. Look." Chad just like, "Come on, let me talk about this."
No, I was breaking down my because I never finished it. My alternate top 5 NBA players. Because I was going to go through, it was going to be all like the people.
Oh yeah, that's what it was.
They like broke the rule books. Like you had to. So like Kareem, they outlawed Duncan because of him. Wilt, they made it to where that's why they have the rule now where you can't go over the free throw line when you shoot free throws. It used to be people were jumping over the free throw line to shoot their free throws, and he was like dunking free throws or laying them up or whatever. The craziest part is he still shot like 50% from the free throw line. Like, how you dunking your free throws and you still shoot like 55% from the line? Like, come on, bro. But like, so him, and then Shaq was going to be in there. What was it? Who was it? It was MJ, because they changed a bunch of rules around that, and I can't remember what the other one was. Oh, it was Dr. J, not because they changed rules, but because I think he got cheated by not being in the NBA for his whole career. He's kind of like the Warren Moon of the NBA.
We had like all the top 5 conversations and shit you can have. Like it was like after we got done, we just started talking about sports and rap and shit.
Yeah, I see Hotep Jesus is here. Jabari's coming at us with charges. HJ, just be ready. He said he's got charges on everybody. So I don't know. I'm just. At this point, I don't even care. I'm like I'm kind of like I'm taking the Coolee approach to it. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Like, I guess I'll even take fall for some shit I didn't do. You know. Allen Iverson, yeah, that's another one. I saw you posted that thing where somebody put up they put Allen Iverson on Mount Rushmore, but they left LeBron and they covered up Steph Curry with him or whatever, and you're like, you took the wrong one out.
See, yeah, because they be bullshitting.
DJ Ying Ming, that shit's hilarious.
Oh god, oh my gosh, bro! When we were doing oh my gosh, when we were doing the karaoke. And that girl was trying to run stuff, and HJ just took the other mic and was just like running the show, like calling out people's names. He's like, we got Gabby coming up to the stage, and then the girl's like, yo, I'm running this shit. What are you talking about?
Oh yeah,
he's like, I got this, DJ Ling Ling or whatever. He said.
No, he did say that. Yeah. Yeah,
I got you. I don't need help. Like,
Yo, she kicked him off the stage after a while.
I know. Well, I mean,
I was like, what?
The crazy part is, I didn't even know he was saying, "Wait until tonight, Chad." Until I watched the video later, and I was like, "Bro, what the hell are you saying that shit for?" So then when Coolee started singing in the background, I was like, "No, we can't be having this.
We're not doing this again.
I'm not doing this again."
My motto: Vegas made me do it.
Vegas made me do it.
I'm gonna take that one. I'm gonna roll with that.
I'm not taking accountability for nothing.
I'm rolling with that. Shit.
It was the James.
Coolee just gave me my out.
Yeah, what was the name of that rum that Cannon had? That stuff was good.
I have no
I had a
idea.
sip, but I don't remember what it was.
Is that the one that fucked me up?
Maybe, I don't know.
I believe that was the drink. I forgot what the name of it was. But I say, yo, that shit right there.
It was good though. It was too good.
It was. That's the problem.
Yeah. So
liquor should be nasty so you can know not to do enough.
Right. Yeah, it needs to be straight cognac or whiskey or something like that. Because I was up in Tennessee a few weeks ago, and Renee's stuff too. Renee had that whiskey and vodka that he makes. That shit was good too. But we were over in Tennessee, and they got all these moonshine distilleries, and they got all these flavored moonshines and everything. Don't ever taste the blackberry one because it tastes like Robitussin or something. It's disgusting. Seriously, I was like, this isn't like Diamond Tap tastes better than
moonshine.
This. But anyway, but they had some that was like they had a coffee one. I swear it tasted like I was drinking cold brew. I was like, this is evil. This shit is dangerous as hell. It was like 60 proof cold brew coffee.
Oh,
it was really bad. So I was like, I know I read the bottle, so I know I'm only serving myself this much because otherwise it's gonna get crazy. But
I don't know the next time I'm drinking. Might be a couple weeks.
Yeah, right. So the other stories, like what else happened, like maybe when we weren't together that you I don't know, what were some of maybe the takeaways from HotepCon, like some of the cool shit that we did that you didn't maybe expect, because I don't know what you expected exactly, because I know like when we talked about you getting up there and talking, I think maybe you thought you were giving a speech or something, and then it turns out you're getting interviewed by HJ. Like how did that go down for you?
I thought that was I think that's the first time that I had conversations with people who are like me, but everybody not from the hood. Like most of the people I have stuff in common with are from my neighborhood. I never met people that's not from where I'm from that think the same shit as me. Like when I say I hate liberals, my niggas be like, what the fuck you talking about? I be like, bro, look at this shit. You gotta look at this shit, man. Like they don't care about shit like that. So not saying they ignorant, well, they are, they ignorant to that, but like they don't really be listening to the shit I be saying. Like if you listen to them, they say I'm crazy. Like Coolee be tripping and shit, but like they also be like Coolee real smart too. Like, but if you ask them how I'm smart, they don't know how to explain. They like that nigga just smart.
Right.
So I liked that. Like it was like damn near everybody I talked to like agreed with like damn near the same shit. I was like, damn, I didn't know it was like people like me that like from outside of where I'm from and shit. Like like Dubes is from the hood, so we kind of like almost the same person, kind of sort of. But like most of the people I talked to was like different from me. So I'm like, that shit was dope. Like that was the first time I've been around a lot of like-minded people, but also had their own minds at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So that shit
and you got some new white friends that didn't put you in jail.
Oh yeah, that too. I remember
I tried to explain it. Like if I'd have known where the jails were.
I'm telling you though, bro. Be careful. Be careful with Chad, bro. I'm telling you, be careful with Chad, bro.
Yo, where's
my homie to homie? Be careful though. That's how they get you in, bro.
I didn't know he was funny. Nobody told me he was funny.
Well, you can't tell that to my kids though. They don't think I'm funny, so it's all good. But that's because all the jokes I tell them are my dad jokes. Like I don't get to let loose in front of them. It's
you can't tell jokes.
That's a different conversation with your kids, opposed to like being amongst like different people that share the same mindset and can understand your humor. It's like when somebody has dark humor, they say real fucked up shit. Some people turn their head. Other people are like, that was actually kind of funny.
Yeah, you got to do it in the right crowd. Like, you can't just be throwing that shit out there.
Chad, that's Chad. I'm like, yo, what the fuck you just said?
I'm not saying that stuff. I'm not saying that stuff on here though, because like it was one of those things where like me, you, and Tanai were having a conversation, and the crazy thing is like that conversation. I know you were taking it somewhere like deep and spiritual, but that's why I had to say that joke right there because I needed to like break the tension a little bit.
Right.
And so anyway, I just. Sometimes that's how I have to do it, and
like it was dope because like at our table you had like a former drug dealer sitting next to like doctors and shit. Then you got the like it was like
dinner.
It was like the like greatest. It was like the Avengers of like people in the world.
Yeah.
Like doctors, rappers.
That's exactly what it is.
Like it's like I was looking around the table like, yo, this is crazy.
Like we got every avenue that we might need. That's why it's a nation. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What's really cool about that for me is like because you were talking about this about how like the hand selected leadership for the Black community is like it's not the people who we saw at HotepCon, but that's who it should be.
I said when I was talking to AJ. I said, I don't know why they throw black men in the patriarchy conversation because we wasn't sitting at the fucking table when they came up with it. And then if you look at us, like all our leaders is bitch niggas and women. Like when you have a Malcolm X or some shit, they kill him. Like that's how I knew Black Lives Matter was fake. So I'm like, yo, you look at the shit. I don't know why they like that's just so weird to me. But then I heard like people like Sunny talk about how like she liked to have like my type voices on there because like the men that you usually like, it's like the men that you would find to lead usually come from where I'm from, but they don't want us to be the leaders because it's like, yo, we don't like you, what you stand for. But like, mind you, y'all hate the police and shit, but I actually fought the police because I don't give a fuck. So it's like you have that. The mentality that you want your leaders to have exists in a certain place, but you don't like the people from that place. That's why it's so funny to me. I'm like, y'all don't like the dudes from the hood, but like a lot of us would be like the type of dudes, yo. I told them one time, I said, y'all wouldn't even like Malcolm X if he was still alive. Like y'all would be calling, they would be calling him like Hotep, old ashy Hotep and shit, how they be insulting us and shit. And I'd be like, dog, y'all wouldn't even like him if he was like around right now. Like y'all dead ass would not like him with the way y'all think. Y'all wouldn't like Malcolm X. Y'all just think y'all would. Like, so it's like having those types of conversations with like people like Sunny was actually like letting me speak and shit. Like that's why she was like, I told you I gave y'all awards in my head. Like, so she was like my favorite speaker. Like she was the one that I like hearing the most. So that was
she
my
bring
favorite.
That fire.
Yeah, like she like
you hyped up, you know.
She like her thoughts is like she wrote them, but she freestyling. Like
I heard you telling Doe that you're like, it sounds like she wrote all this.
Yeah, like
she's just going off the cuff.
she is like a dope rapper. Like that's, but she just talking about real shit. So that's why I was like, yo, who is that? I'm like, dog, like she is fire, dog. Like, yeah, so I like that part. That was my favorite. That was one of my favorite parts about the weekend. Then like kicking it with you and Trish, of course, because y'all was my favorite people to just hang with. We ain't hang, like we talked about a lot of that shit, but like we just had like a good side conversations and shit. Dudes, of course, because that's my dude.
Yeah.
HJ, where the hell was HJ? HJ disappeared a few times. Where the hell was he at?
He does that. So here's the things I've learned about HJ and Unk at HotepCon is that like HJ will just like disappear and like he doesn't like to say goodbye, so he'll just like dip.
Yeah, he do the Batman shit.
Instead of saying, yeah, he'll just Bruce Wayne his ass out of there. And Unk, like you gotta warm up. Like he gets going on the show and everything, but like you walk up to him and he'll be like, hey. That's it. You have to, come on, man, talk. Damn. He's like super shy in person. It's like it's weird. Like most of the time you'll have people that they'll be like real talkative, and then you get them up on a stage, and all of a sudden they clam up. He's like the opposite. Like he'll talk to like a crowd of people and talk to the YouTube audience and everything, and not be worried about the fact that all those people are watching and commenting and everything on the shit. But then like you go talk to him one-on-one, and it's like, hey man, it's all right. I love you, it's okay. So, but no. So all right. So what were your other ranks? So Sonny was your favorite speaker. You liked hanging out with me and Trish, which that says something about you. I'm not sure if it's good. But I'm just gonna assume it's good because
it means y'all was the coolest. No, I'm gonna tell you why. Those was like they was almost my handlers. like almost having like cool handlers. Like I was like, they'll be like, "You okay?" I'm like, yeah. I was like, I think I am. Because they was checking on me and shit. And I'm like,
I told you gotta watch out for Chad, bro. Look, now he your handler.
No,
and you're fed.
So when
he didn't steer you wrong yet.
I'm kind of no, but so I kind of see
that
like
got my sense of humor. That's what it is. Like, he has the same sense of humor. That's what it is.
There's a little bit of that. There was something I was going to tell you today and I forgot about it. But anyway, one of your tweets had went out, but I was working and then I was driving and stuff, so I didn't get to tweet anything about it. But anyway, what Trish said while we were out there, she was like she sees herself as kind of like the team mom or whatever. And I was like, I feel you, because I feel like the team dad. Like when we went out to Walgreens, who was in the back of that whole crew? Me. I'm watching to make sure nobody's coming up behind us or anything like that. I'm checking to make sure the women are taken care of, like that, because Heather was with us and everything. I'm like, all right, let me make sure like nobody drops back or gets left behind or anything like that.
Heather was so random in that group. It was so funny.
It was funny. And then she's like, look, if you ever need to do anything with Tech 9, I know him. I'm like, what?
Yeah, like she knew, like,
she did tell me that.
That's crazy, because people probably say that about me, because I know certain rappers, like I don't know them, but I would know how to get in contact with them. So it's life is funny, like people who know people.
Yeah. So all right, so let's keep going down the list. So who else is on the list and for what category?
AG is AG was,
yeah, that's all you gotta say right there. That was enough. That was enough right there. That was
AG
enough.
AG was like the like he was like my entertainment. Like I would see him do it. So like how people was looking at me in the meme and shit, and everybody's like, oh, because somebody had tweeted Coolee is the most unintentionally funny person at HotepCon. I thought it was AG. Like AG was like unintentionally funny. Like Brad is like intentionally funny. Like he telling the joke and shit, and it's like he actually is funny, so it works. Like, but AG wasn't telling jokes and shit. He was just doing shit that was funny to me, like the car shit. And then I was
living my life, man.
Then I saw him doing. I don't know what you was doing, but you bumped into the bar and shit, and I was like, "Is he cool?" But then you just walked off, and I was like, "Did anybody see that shit?" I'm like, "Is he cool?" But I know your girl was there with you, so I'm like, he probably going to see some with her. So I was like, and you was like side entertainment for me. It was so funny. And then
I got you, bro. Next year I'm charging for that shit though.
How do you charge for being unintentionally funny?
He said I was his entertainment. Like you only get one round free. Pause.
And like I said, I think Rook was like the most intriguing because I had the most questions for her ass. I wanted to ask her so many questions, dog. I was like, yo, I got like a million questions for her. Then it was like the most missing people was Uncle Hotep and HJ. They Batman and
the most missing.
I literally did not see Uncle Hotep. Like he was there too, because I kept seeing him like in the morning, but then I wouldn't see him for the rest of the day. And I'm like, I never asked about him, and I was like, where is he? I'm like, I didn't see him. Like I never saw him.
Yo, I walked past his room at like 2 p.m. at one point. I forget what day it was, but I walked past his room. I knew where he was at because we went up to the room together the one day. But he had the do not disturb sign up at like 2 p.m. I'm like, yo, that's where okay, he's taking a nap.
I don't know. What y'all was doing up when y'all went to the room together?
No. I'm saying like he was on my floor. No, he was on my floor. He was on my floor.
Yeah, that's not what you said though.
That's
not what you said.
We went up the elevator to our separate rooms in unison. Is that better?
You got some funny stories, my boy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He got like the most like random shit going on. Like, you should have saw him when it looked like I stepped into a damn video when I walked outside and saw him pull up in the convertible. And I'm like, yo, where do you go? You on a breakfast with your chest out though?
I think it was Friday. I gotta apologize to HJ for not catching this. I'm supposed to be a better fed than this and a better handler. But like, so Unc like they're getting ready to go out to put that up there. Nicco?
Yeah, I did.
Hell with you, man.
You just said you were gonna say.
Oh yeah, okay, but fine, good enough. Yeah. So anyway, so they're all going like Heather and a few other people. They're like, we're going to get alcohol or whatever. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to come with y'all. And then I ended up not going because I was sitting there talking to Sean and we were having a conversation. But Unc tried to tell me like 3 different times. He's like, I'm going to get that Bud Light for your bull. And I was like, what the fuck is he talking about?
Yeah.
And I didn't catch it, man. I didn't catch it. I didn't know what he was talking about. And I was just like, what? I thought he was trying to like slander me or something. Like I'm going to get the Bud Light for like I'm like in cahoots with Dylan Mulvaney or something. Or I'm like, you know what I mean? Like I didn't know what his angle, like it didn't land on me. And then finally, like when he pulls the Bud Light out of the anyway, he goes and hands it to HJ or whatever. I was like, oh, that's what the hell he was talking about. Okay. But not to miss a grift, I quickly snapped a picture of that moment where he got that beer. And that, if you watch that video that Taylor got of it, yeah, that was me. I took the picture. AG's the one who posted it though. So he's culpable too. You got to spread the grift out. But no, so if you watch when Taylor starts videoing that, because he and Unc set it up where he like followed Unc. You can see Unc holding it behind him and everything. And he walks up. That beer is on the counter for like 2 seconds. And that's the 2 seconds that I snapped that picture. Because he puts it on the counter and he's like, ha ha ha. And he goes, and he dumps it on Unc. And then
the best part, they're running around chasing each other with Bud Light. And then Coolee pops up out of the cut. Yeah, with a fucking Bud Light in his hand. Like, yo, what the fuck going on?
Everybody was like, yay.
Dirty story. Dirty story. Like, I'm like, Coolee, what you want? I'll buy you something. He's like, give me a Bud Light. And I'm like, what?
No, because
he didn't know. He didn't know. Nobody
I heard him, but I never and then I was like, oh, I know why they doing that because I sort of got every time I walked in a room, it was like a sitcom. I walked back in after that's happening while I'm standing outside. So I walked back in, and then I had already got it because Chad he set me up.
I didn't say I tried to warn you. I told you. I was like, yo, you sure you don't want to get something else? I mean, I'll even buy you a Stella instead of that shit, even though that's like some gay shit too.
You're funny as fuck.
Like I came back in.
See, Nicco knows. Look, I show up at Wrigley back in May. I show up in Wrigley back in May, and me and Nicco are gonna hang out, and so we meet at this little spot right outside of Wrigley, and Nicco pulls up. So here's me and Nicco at the bar at Wrigley. All right. So Nicco hollers at the bartender. He goes, hey, can I get a Stella? And I was like, bro. Like, you seriously. I'm sitting over here drinking Guinness and Modelo and shit, and he's like, "Can I get a Stella Artois?" Like, you gotta say that. You gotta say that with like your finger in the air or something like that, just because of how French and Belgian it sounds. Like that's just no, man. So anyway, that's why I said that when Coolee,
at the park.
I told Coolee I would have bought him a Stella instead. But anyway,
but see, when I came back in,
no, we're not talking about that one, Nicco. We're not talking about the. When I asked you if you wanted something from the concession stand, we're not talking about that.
But what happened, Coolee? So you walk back in?
No, I'm just talking about the same thing. I just walked back in, and everybody was like, "Yay!" You know,
I remember you looked at HJ. You was like, "Are we gay?"
I was like, I'm not gay. Then I looked at my hand. I didn't even finish it. I put it down on the bar. I was like, okay. Then I got me a I think I got me a Casamigos that cost like $100 fucking
oh gosh.
$1 That dude was so happy pouring them too. He knew what he was doing. I'm like, why every time I ask for a Casamigos, he smiled like that?
Maybe he's tight with George Clooney or something like that. You saw they've been doing all those commercials and everything. Like, because he's their official spokesperson or something.
Oh, yo, that was the other shit. The little,
like his liquor or something.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah. The other story.
Photo shoot.
I forgot about that. Oh my gosh.
Down there for that, Coolee?
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
that was Saturday? That was Saturday, wasn't it?
It was
Saturday during the day.
Anti-HotepCon photo shoot.
Yes.
At the pool,
oh my gosh.
The tees were in the building, and it was dude like I swear to God, dude was like 6 feet tall because I'm 5'10", so he got to be like 6'1" or 6'2" or something. So he comes by me, and I'm ordering. This is in the daytime, so is I think it was like
middle of the day, like 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon. Yeah.
So I just ordered me like a gay ass margarita, whatever.
Oh yeah, the one that had tahini on it. Shout out to Uncle Hotep.
I was like, dude was like kind of brushing me. He was like, "Hey," and I was like, "What's up, man?" And I didn't mean like man. I didn't realize it was a man.
Yeah. He said, "Ma'am,"
and I was like, "Yo," that's but I said it to myself. I was like, "Yo, that's the dude." And they was trying to get like people to take pictures and shit, and I was like, "Nah, I'm good. I no." I'm good.
So somebody. I will let this person reveal themselves. I won't do it for them. But somebody got suckered into taking pictures on that photo shoot.
Show yourself.
It's nobody who's on screen with us. There's somebody else.
Know that. Who was it? I didn't know that.
I'm not saying it on air, but
it's on Twitter if you pay attention.
Say what?
I say if you pay attention to the tweets, you'll see who it was on Twitter.
Yeah, probably end up on there somewhere. Oh my gosh! But man,
personalities.
That was. And then they kept trying to talk us up and everything, and I'm like,
yeah, it was like,
yo, I'm not.
Yeah, at the bar, I saw them talking to you.
Listen, I'm not phobic. It's not about that. It's like I just don't want to look at that. So like I'm trying not even to make eye contact. I'm not trying to look at anybody. Like it was messed up. Like because
I don't want to take a picture with a person that's like bigger than me in a dress though. It's not even about the gender at that point. It's just
that's a good point.
Here's one of my things with it. So like I've never been a big fan of like, fake breasts, BBLs, that kind of stuff. Like that's just not my style, right?
All natural.
So yeah, all natural. Yes. So this is kind of what happens though. Like when you start doing that, you start letting women transition into some type of woman that they're not. Well, it's only natural that there's going to be some other people who are going to be like, hey, I would like to look like something I'm not. So here we are.
It's slippery.
They paved the way with BBLs and fake tits.
The slippery slope is crazy. I've been saying that shit for years. And I'm not even old. I sound like my granddad already. Like, what's the hell happened?
I know, right? Like, I started sounding real old real quick. And here's one of the things that was funny. We were talking about like millennials and Gen Zs and Coolee's trying to break up the different types of millennials and everything, and then he points at me, and I was like, no, I'm Gen X. Like he's like he thought I was the same age as him. Like,
no, I thought you was
in your range, a little bit older than you. Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like not the same age, but
so basically how I split up, because like we the only generation that split into two, and I said it's because we are the cutoff of normal people.
Yeah,
something happened in the 90s where people stopped being normal. I don't know. I think it's like the cutoff is probably like 92, 93. Everybody after that is weird as hell. Like I'm like, I swear, it's like they always split it up by like, oh, were you alive when this happened? No, it's split up because there is a group of people who are normal, and we went outside and we played until the street lights came on and shit. And like the highlight of my day was like I would watch Michael Jordan or some shit on TV, Bulls game or something. I'll play my Super Nintendo. These motherfuckers don't go outside. They grew up on a computer. Now, mind you, I was still a teenager when these things became invented, but like I noticed the weirdness when I was young. I was like, yo, they not like us, but they only like 2 or 3 years younger than us. It's like those 93 to 96. Like what? Something is wrong with them.
93 to 96. Shit, I'll take that because I was 97. But I was just about to say, it's funny because
I'm 98, so I'm
yeah, no, but it's funny because like me and Nicco, we probably be saying, well, I know I say it, but he probably says it too. Something changed after like the 2000s. Like
the 2000 kids are a little.
That's when it got weird. But it's funny because Coolee's saying like we were in that shit too, but it got even worse though in the 2000s for sure.
I think Gen Z is the first generation that's gonna be dumber than the one before. Like I think they're the very first one. Absolutely. These motherfuckers eat Tide Pods and shit, but that's besides the point. But they don't know shit. Like it's like they don't know nothing. They'll tell you some shit on the internet that I grew up through certain shit, so I don't even have to get on Google to say it. They'll tell me to Google some shit, and I'm like, I don't have to Google it. I was there. Like, what are you talking about? And they will argue to death. And I'm like, y'all have the internet, and y'all still like choose to be wrong. Like you have a chance to be right every time you open your mouth now. Like you literally can just type the shit and see what happens. Like even with like regular shit like sports, they will argue me up and down about some shit I actually saw. Like
right.
That didn't happen. I saw that game. That's
what's really wild about the whole like MJ LeBron debate. It's like I've watched like whole games where I've watched like Kobe and MJ take over like an entire fourth quarter multiple times in like critical situations, and I'm watching and they're like, look at this buzzer beater in like the second round of the playoffs where it was like game 1 against the Pacers, and I'm like, bro, like what? And he banked it in too. That's the other thing. It's like he banked the shit in. Like,
I don't get involved in that conversation all the time for that exact reason. Because like I've watched tape. Like I grew up hooping, so like I've watched tape on Jordan, but I wasn't there, bro. It's not. I stay out of it. I refer to you guys. You know what I mean?
But here's the thing, of y'all. But it's like the millennial thing is just like, okay, how old were you? I base it on how old were you when YouTube was invented. That's how I do the cutoff with the millennials. But when you start getting to the Gen Zs and shit, they don't know nothing. They was like cheering like Bush because he gave Michelle Obama a piece of candy. And I was like, do y'all know who that is?
Don't know who that is. Right?
Like I was in 7th grade when like he did like the worst shit. I'm like, he is one of the worst presidents of my lifetime. I said, do you not know who the Bush family is, dog? And they was like, oh, George Bush is so sweet. He gave Michelle Obama. I said, this is the worst person. Like, this is who y'all think Trump is. This motherfucker's evil, dog. Like this motherfucker.
He got like 500,000 bodies on him.
Bro, something like that. Dude, he going to hell.
Yeah. He's like, shoot.
He like right next to Reagan. Like he's almost like he's like Reagan tier, like fucked up. Like that's and they was like, no, he's so nice.
Our co-host Marcus was not happy that he was not able to make it tonight, but we're gonna have to have you back another time where we can, because I want to get into some of that stuff about, because we actually talked a while back about like doing a war criminals tier list where we're gonna have all the
that would be fired, dog.
Dick Cheney, Madeleine Albright, like just go Henry Kissinger, like you know what I mean? Like there's all kind of people you can go through on that. But this man, it's just wild how. So I want to go back to that Jordan LeBron thing, that break, that because you and I see this all the time on the timeline. And here's my thing with that whole debate, which to me makes it a moot point. All right, just follow me real quick. What number did Michael Jordan take? What famous player's number did Michael Jordan take when he came into the NBA? Nobody's.
Okay, I'm
about to say what famous person's number does LeBron James still wear?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
that's the crazy shit about Bron fans. They don't realize he looks up to Mike.
Some kid's gonna be wearing, like, in middle school 23, and people are gonna just assume it's Mike.
Yeah,
because you didn't even make a legacy for yourself, like to leave behind where it's like he's wearing number I don't know 11 or something, like where like that's that's Kyrie.
They generation like it's like kind of the same shit the generation before mine would probably say about like us, but like I actually respected like the people that was like even rappers that was before me, like like anything that was before me, I went back and looked and researched. Like people, the generation behind mine, the Gen Z, they don't give a fuck. Like they be like, well, he can't be on the GOAT list if I didn't see him play. And I'm like, I didn't see fucking Wilt or none of them motherfuckers play. Like I couldn't tell my granddad that George Gervin was trash just because I didn't see him play. Like that don't make sense, because that would be like my sons growing up and telling me Kobe was good, and then I would have to say the same shit to them. I'm like, just because you wasn't born, it don't mean shit. Like that's stupid. Like that's dumb. Like some of my favorite songs is from before I was born. So the logic doesn't make sense. Like if you put a 65 or 64 Impala next to a 2002 Impala, the 64 Impala still look way better than that shit. Like it's just certain shit. Like they think it's nostalgia. And I'm like, just because something old don't mean it's not fire. That don't make sense.
Right. Like some shit just objectively looks better because they messed up the body style somewhere along the way.
Facts. Like some shit is just facts. Like I remember Nokia phones used to stay charged all day. Charge that bitch once a week.
yeah, but you weren't watching 4K video on that bitch either, though. Like it was that's the one thing. Like some of that stuff, we tax those phones now, man. It's crazy.
But somebody would come and tell me. Somebody would think I was lying if I said, "Yo, I remember like cell phones stay charged." They're like, "No, it didn't." Yes, it did. I noticed one. But it just
a couple of days sometimes. Like it would be like days.
Like
the early days of you could leave it charged for a couple of days.
That's how I sound talking about Michael Jordan. They'd be like, "No, it didn't," but like it's not unbelievable, no. That's
right, it does. Yeah.
Like that. He was so good, you don't believe the shit when you have YouTube, which is crazy to me. Like I don't even have to take my word for it. Like when I was growing up, I had to take all the older people word for it until fucking YouTube was a bit, or like Google like came around. I was like, I didn't know if George Gervin was good or not. I just knew my granddad said he was good. I couldn't look that shit up till I was a teenager when YouTube came out, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Bro, I got encyclopedias like this thick with like everybody's stats in them and shit like that. From because
you hear that
at the time that you were the time that you were born was the time that I had these books from, like 1994 and shit like that. Like it's like I
haven't even seen an encyclopedia since like the 2000s.
I have that, and I have baseball ones. So it's crazy. There's the Nefton Cohen. Naturally. Anyway, but the Nefton Cohen baseball encyclopedia. I think 1994 or whatever. I had that, and I'm looking through it with a friend of mine because we used to play this game, Earl Weaver Baseball, where you like input the stats and everything, and it simulated games for you and everything, and you could actually play the games. But most of the time, we just simulated the stuff. So, and then we would just like bet on who would get the whose team would win or whatever. But they had in this encyclopedia, they had this whole legend of all these different like 2-letter acronyms and what they meant. And I was like, oh yeah, so look at this one. Like all right, here's one, KB. Let's see what that is. So I found this guy. his last name is Chapman. I can't remember, but he's like from the 1900s. I'm just randomly looking at this acronym at the end of his name, and I go to look it up in the legend. It's the only person in the history of baseball who got killed by a pitched ball.
God damn!
Some dude hit him in the head with the ball, killed him. And I'm like, all right, so they're not all like that. Some of the other ones are just like, was injured for the season or something like that. Like, no, but this dude apparently he got killed. All right, moving right along. Anyway, it's wild stuff that used to happen back when they didn't have helmets and shit.
That's some crazy shit.
Well, so all right, so we're getting close. We got about 20 minutes till Hotep's been told you, and so I want to wrap it up before we get to there. But this has been cool, and I appreciate. I'm not going to say your name, Hotep Federalis, because I don't want like people to anyway, because he like literally is a Fed. But anyway, that's not a bad one. He's a good one. He's a good guy.
How would you know, Chad?
He's on our team.
How would you know he's a Fed?
I was reading Trisha comment. It says she can't.
Oh yeah, she can't.
I had seen him in the meetings, Nicco.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like so we stayed up all night. It was like 4:30 or something like that when we left. There was like 7 or 8 of us in Coolee's room talking rap and everything. And so when we finally left, it was like 4:30 in the morning. I slept about 4 or 5 hours or something like that, and then spent the whole day either in the lobby or in the LAX airport. Because once I flew from Vegas to LAX, I just sat there like until midnight. Finally left and flew back to New Orleans midnight. Had to drive to Baton Rouge, so I didn't get home until like 6:30 in the morning. I went to sleep. I woke up to like 5 missed phone calls and missed texts and everything. They needed me to drive to Texas like immediately. And I was like, oh, all right, on my way. Man, so I didn't finally sleep until Monday night, like where I actually got a night of sleep. So I know what you mean, Trisha. I was feeling it. Like I'm still like my voice is still like fucked from all that stuff. So we started off talking about this, Coolee, but like you said, you haven't fully recovered yet. Do you think you're close? Do you think you ever will?
Yeah, I'm good now. I'm gonna have to lay off drinking a little bit. I was like, I drank too much. It was one night. Oh, bro, I don't even think I'm gonna tell that story. Okay, I'll tell it. This last story. Okay, so I come out of karaoke, right?
Yeah, this is the story I wasn't gonna tell. I wasn't gonna bring it up. I wasn't gonna burn you like that.
I'll tell it. So I go out. I you know how you can feel yourself about to throw up and shit. So I was talking to somebody, and it was a girl in there flirting with me. She worked at the desk. She was up there. That's all I remember. So she was flirting with me. I think she wrote her number on a napkin and gave it to me or something. I don't remember. I just remember I just was like nodding my head to everybody because I wasn't listening. I was trying to not throw up, and I'm just like, I'm like, okay. So the last person get done talking, and then I was like, you know what? I gotta go, y'all. So I jumped up, and then like I almost made it, and I threw up and just blasted the whole wall in the day. And then like I remember going.
Then I'm in the bathroom.
Hold on, Chad. Before he gets to you,
all right, yeah.
I'm just leaving the bathroom when he almost got there and started.
Oh yeah, AG, I forgot he was.
So I dodged that shit. Like I literally side swiped it. Like I heard the noise. Like I heard him like coming and like, you know what I mean? And I side swiped that shit. Seen it coming. I got out of the way. I looked at him. I'm like, yo, you good? He like still kept going. I'm like, I'm out. I ain't say nothing. So the next day.
That's why you're not the team dad.
The next day he starts telling me, I'm like, look, I wasn't even gonna ask you. Like, you seem like you was good when you came back. That's all.
I felt perfectly fine, but somebody bought me a shot. It was like, drink it, Coolee. And I was like, I don't want to, man. He was like, oh, well, he already bought it, so I felt bad. So I was like, man, I ain't gonna. But I didn't tell him about it. I don't think I did because I was mixing at that point. I'm like, this is gonna not be good. So I drank it, and I sat there for like 10 minutes, and I felt it just say no the whole time. And I said, oh, fuck. If I would have got up like 3 seconds earlier, I would have made it at least to the trash. And because I could time it, I said, this is going to come up around when I get around this corner, because you gotta go out this way, then come out this way through the little hotel.
Yeah,
bro. Yeah. I'm thinking somebody walking in spilling their drink or something, because I just hear shit hitting the floor. So I wasn't really worried about it, because I thought somebody was just wobbling, spilling their drink or something, bro. He turned the corner. I'm like, oh.
He was spilling multiple drinks.
He was spilling all.
And then fucking Chad was in there. No,
I'm in there taking a piss, and I hear Coolee come around behind me and go into the stall, and I was like, oh shit, man, you good? You all right? And so I'm just like, well, I can't just leave him like that. So I just start they had the little dispensers on the wall, so I'm just like going making paper towels come out. I just pull paper towels off of there, and I just keep handing them to him through the door. I'm like, here's some more paper towels. And then I went and looked at the wall, and I was like, oh damn, man. And I was like,
well, I'm in the hallway.
This is gonna be terrible.
I'm in the bathroom cleaning up and shit, so nobody come in there. And I'm like, I'm glad nobody came in there, because I'm in the hallway doing this.
Oh, you clean that shit? I thought they cleaned that shit.
Yeah, he did the best he could in the condition he was in.
Well, it was. I think the trash can was the part that I was just like, nah, I'm good. Like whoever, I think they had to get that, but like the walls and shit, I was like. It was like a crime scene. I'm trying to.
Did they say some girl like walked through it? Like
they said somebody walked through and slipped.
No,
like,
really?
I'm like, I don't. But there's somebody there. It was like a chain reaction. You saw me go in. Chad was there with me, and then somebody said they saw the aftermath of us coming out, and I'm like, I didn't see that part. I just remember I washed my mouth out. Went back to the karaoke, and I was just like, "Hey, everybody!"
Yo, that's the thing.
Next thing you know, he's singing on stage with me, and I'm like,
I seen Coolee pop back out. He over there just talking to people and shit. I'm like, yo, I thought for sure he was out for the count after that one. Like, I thought you were up in the room. He came right back. Man.
If I would have drank, I drank all that, and then that one shot was like, I said, "Oh, this is gonna mix now." Now I'm mixing. It was like. One little shot just destroyed my whole life. I was
never seen that. I think who was it? Oh gosh, I can't remember the comedian's name, but he did a thing like that where he's talking about how it's like you eat this stuff and you eat and you drink, and he said everything seems cool, and he's like, then somebody invites tequila to the party, and all of a sudden it starts a fight in the bar, and eventually the bouncer's like, everybody's got to go.
Yo, that's what I was drinking Saturday night, bro. That fucking tequila sent me to Arizona, bro.
Yeah, the tequila is, I was like, and you know what's crazy? I never drink tequila because of that. I don't like it. Like, but it was those damn Casamigos. I was asking for mixed drinks. Now, mind you, I don't drink mixed drinks either. So I'm drinking alcohol I don't drink, and I got like juice and shit in it, which is, juice in your liquor is terrible any fucking way. That's why
too much sugar. Yeah. The sugar alcohol mixture.
So that was my other story. So like, it's funny because Brad was around. Brad or AG saw everything. I mean, Chad. I keep saying Brad. Why did I say Brad?
Yeah, I was like, who the hell's Brad?
Brooke and Brad.
Brooke and Brad. That's hey, man, we could start a podcast. We could have Coolee, Brooke, and Brad.
Chad or AG saw something that I did every time. I always did something, or I saw something they did with AG ass doing something.
Yo, that shit was funny as hell, bro. Like I'm pulling up in the drop top. Coolee just outside for no reason. I'm like, oh fucking course. He sees me pulling up in this state, bro.
He went to water. I'm like, what the fuck?
And then the next person I saw was Chad in line to check out.
And that's what I was doing.
I was like, what you about to do? I'm like buttoning my shirt.
You checking out? He's like, you checking out? And I'm like, yeah, what are you about to do? He's like, we just got here. I'm like,
because I was buttoning my shirt back up. So I feel like you probably thought I was going somewhere to get breakfast or something like that.
Yeah, so I saw you buttoning your shirt up, and then I see the tweet later from Coolee saying that you pulled up with no shirt out of a 2-seater saying we just came back from
Ash was wearing it though.
A damn convertible, though. I'm like, what in the fucking music video is going on?
What in the music video is going on?
That's what we should have done. We should have
y'all should have done that. That would have been good. But
it was fun as hell, y'all. Like, I like meeting y'all, man.
Yeah, so I'm gonna
put
this.
No homo.
No shit. Like I'm
we gonna chop it up on the sports show too, bro, for sure.
Yeah, I was feeling that too. That's part of why I wanted to do this, because I was like I was having a little FOMO already from getting away from everybody. But no, it's been. Hopefully, we have enough here to where like maybe Sean can put together the animation of what he was going to do, because I think there's some funny stories that could be retold like that, but he was going to kind of embellish them and make them extra funny, because you know how some of that stuff goes where like
I want to hear them.
Yeah, I know, right? It's dope. But no, this has been great, and Hotep's Been Told You is coming up in 15 minutes, so we're gonna let everybody get over to that, and we got to have you back on because we got to talk about, because I want to talk about because just to set the stage for that. So Marcus, Nicco, and I have for the last 3 years been hosting this show, and it's called Aquarian Anarchy for a reason. We're all anarchists. We don't believe that forceful, coercion or authoritarianism is the way to, make the most ideal world happen. So what we try to do is we try to explain like how like we think stuff would be better with, as Sonny describes, voluntary association, where if you don't want to fuck with something, you don't have to fuck with it. But don't make me endorse your shit. But I'm also like, if you want to do some stuff and it's not affecting anybody else, it's not hurting anybody else, then do your thing, and I'm not going to throw you in jail for it. I would like to talk to you about some of the stuff that you've had, issues that you've had with the law and with like prosecutors, DAs, all that kind of stuff, because there's some of that
judicial system. Yes,
exactly. That's all. It's going to be a whole show of slamming the judicial system, because there's all kind of ways that affects things, whether it's the some of the stuff that you've talked about, but then also like we've talked about this already with some of our guests about like the family court system and how that's geared to basically just skim money out of people's lives and do fuck all for the kids.
I've got a great story about family court. I'm glad I could do both of those. I got one of the most unique stories about family court, and it's so funny.
That's great. So that's what we'll try to do. And then the other thing is, since we got a little bit of time left, I want to give this opportunity to my man Nicco to pick your brain, because he's in the south side of Chicago. I know you're not there anymore, but that's where you grew up and everything. And I wanted to get him an opportunity to kind of pick your brain and chop it up with you a little bit too.
Hold on.
Yeah.
You GD?
Oh hell no! Wait. See, stop speaking for me. I had to most definitely clear up the air. I'm on the south side of Chicago, and I don't represent at all. Fuck that bullshit. I grew up. My grandmother were secluded and raised little Haitian kids. I grew up in the south side of Chicago as a shorty, and then I went over to the south suburbs and grew up my life out there, and then came back out to the south side to my grandma's crib. I'm in the hundreds though, so like I just keep
everybody grandma live on the south side, because my grandma lived on the south side.
But no, I mean I'll pick your brain for another time, and just let this be the recap episode, opposed to me adding my little 2 cents, and then we could go further in depth. And then also, if anything, I'd like to just chop it up with you outside of this.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, for sure. So we'll just leave it at this and have this be the recap. Had the boys had a moment. I'm actually disappointed that I didn't make it out, but I am all over the place with my finances, but we're getting better, a lot better. I just got a car as well, so we're fixing it up, and so I'm about to be real happy with actually working on my car. This is a first project, with many more to come.
Hell yeah.
What's up, huh?
So yeah, no, we just moving. But next year, y'all gonna see Nicco. I'm gonna be out there. I have my
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, so I actually met Nicco through Hotep Nation. That's how this, like, it's crazy, like how this, and AG too, like the 4 people on the screen, like I met all 4 of y'all through Hotep Jesus and Hotep Nation and all that stuff, because it was through like just, I don't know, it's a powerful network. I'll say that much.
Yeah.
It brings all kind of different.
We're the Avengers, like Coolee said.
That's right. That's right.
Every channel, every network.
On some kind of crazy Voltron shit. Like,
no, this is the mafia. We got a butcher shop. We got the graveyard.
Yeah, no shit. That's right. That's a good way.
I was mad that I didn't get to go to the gun range with Cannon Hotel.
Yeah.
So that's one way the judicial system fucked my life up. I can't go shoot guns and shit. Well, not legally. I could do them.
Yeah.
Let me just shut up. But anyway,
you can run for president, but you can't vote for yourself.
Right. Shit crazy.
Like, wow.
But yeah, man. It was dope.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Now I have a question. If you're the president, say quote unquote hypothetically,
you pardon yourself.
Would you be able to still not be able to shoot guns? Could you pardon yourself? You'd be like, fuck it. Or would they still be on bullshit with you?
Yeah,
I have no idea how that works.
That's a good idea. We should try to get you elected president just so that you could expunge your own record.
Oh, that would be fire.
That would be dope. Like,
the shit I could do.
Drop off.
Yo, and then the next day, just be like, yeah, I'm out. I quit. I'm done. That's all I need.
That's the crazy shit about having like, but presidents don't really have no power. They just the head of the military and shit. That's basically what
you came to the right place, man. You came to the right place. You are home. You are with family here, because that's what we are all about.
You might have to bail me out one day.
Brody said he got you, bro.
Brody,
he got you.
But yeah, I don't get in trouble.
The other day, AG hit me up because I was on Hotep Jesus' show, the Grift Report we were talking about. So you weren't there for the first two HotepCons, but like Brody held it down. Like everything was on point. Like we were on like a well-oiled machine.
Like we had a good time, but last year it was VIP.
We had a great time. We had a great time, and I wish we had that same kind of setup this year because it would have been. You thought it was lit, like it would have been crazy. But what you didn't see was there's a bunch of stuff that was going on behind the scenes that got kept from everybody to make it to where the
shout out
experience was still good. Yeah, shout out to Trish and HJ for making and Brody too. Brody, to the extent that he could, kind of tried to like talk to some of the people he knew, but Brody used to work there, and so like he had us like taken care of from sun up to sundown. And what was crazy is that like we're doing all this stuff, and shit, I've completely lost my train of thought. What were we talking about before?
Brody.
Brody's gonna bail him out. Yeah, so I called in on HJ show, and I was like, what we got to do is we got to figure out wherever we're going next year for HotepCon, and we got to just make Brody get a job there, so that the experience can be like it was before. I'm just joking. I love you, Brody. I want you to be able to just kind of come hang out and enjoy it, and I want to help take a little bit off of Trisha's plate so that she's not having to do all that
Trish
shit.
Her and HJ doing a lot, man.
They were grinding. Yeah.
I love Trish.
Yeah. No doubt. Shout out to Trish and shout out to Taylor too. Taylor, Taylor never stopped moving the whole time. Like he's just, if he wasn't setting something up, he was videoing something or like just setting up a shot
Taylor,
or whatever.
Yeah, Taylor was, but I think I didn't really notice him as much because he's like behind everything. So I did notice he was always there somewhere.
Yeah, you'll notice him later when you're on some videos you didn't even know got recorded.
Yeah,
that's when you'll notice. You'll know where Taylor was. It's like
because I saw a lot of pictures. I was like, who took this damn picture? Like, who was this?
I kind of feel like we need to start putting a red dot on Taylor's camera so he has to. So like, oh shit, I'm
on camera. Shout out to Heather in the chat.
Yeah, shout out to Heather. Heather came in. Heather came through. Oh look, she's got the black and yellow too. Okay, anarchist in the chat. Let's go. And Caps. Let's go. All right. I don't know if that's Pittsburgh Steelers or I don't think because she's from like Kansas City. I think.
Yeah,
she's a Royals fan. So I'm thinking the black and yellow is
Hotep Nation.
She's either on some Wiz Khalifa shit or she's okay, that's you. Yeah. Well, so
I'm sorry.
I call it ANCAP. Look, you see the logo Coolee at the top, the A with the black and yellow. So we were already repping. So, but that's a anarcho-capitalism. I'm not trying to get taxed. I'm not trying to get taxed for some shit that I'm not a part of. So like, don't.
No, it ain't like that, man.
Oh, that's Hotep Nation. Okay, all right. She's saying it's Hotep Nation. All right, my bad. I tried to get on the So yeah, I got the hat on. All right, y'all. Go watch What's Been Told You. It's turning up in 5 minutes, and go show the crew some love. And whatever happens in the chat, I need to be exonerated of all charges. Fuck you, Jabari. Don't bring any of that shit to me. I didn't do anything wrong. If anything, I was trying to help people out when they were in trouble. So that's all I'm here for. I'm just Hotep dad, and yes, maybe I'm a Fed, but that's all right.
Okay, so
it's Chatty Boston.
Everybody, somebody clip that. Please. Somebody clip.
Shoot. I got pictures and everything of me in the uniform and all that stuff. It's nothing.
So everybody,
like anybody can go get that for $25 on Amazon.
I have it on my phone.
You can go get an FBI jacket and an FBI hat on like in a Halloween costume. So
no,
it's not that expensive.
I could do some crazy. Never mind.
All right, we'll talk about that off the air. Yeah, we appreciate everybody coming through. Marcus, we love you. We miss you. Hopefully we'll see you back next week. And everybody remember, stay free. Peace, y'all.